Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever video on this YouTube channel called The Football Nerd. So, if you don't know, my uploading schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So, let's get into the video. How about them Raiders? I'm not a Raiders fan, but that's kind of fun to say. Uh, I'm a Panther fan, so I have little to no, I have no hate for the Raiders. Our teams rarely face off, which we will face off this year, but that's a different matter. So, I would just like to commend Jack Del Rio for having the guts to go for it on fourth down against our division rival. No, not go for it on fourth down. What am I thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking of Madden. To go for two against our rivals, the New Orleans Saints. That was pretty impressive. The play call, Jack Del Rio having the guts to do that, the Oakland Raiders play caller, I can't remember who he is. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, so that was a nice throw by Derek Carr and a nice catch by Michael Crabtree. Now, I loved Jack Del Rio's tweet. My gosh, I'm mispronouncing everything. But I loved Jack Del Rio's tweet afterward. He said, quote, "It's a good thing ESPN is not coaching the Raiders," end quote. Now, personally, just as I said, I love that tweet. I loved that he defied the odds. And that was one of those play calls where it's successful and you're a genius. If it's not successful, you have people saying, "Why didn't you kick the extra point?" But instead of me commemorating Jack Del Rio for being a genius and deciding to go for it instead of the extra point, which I would commemorate Jack Del Rio for having the guts to do it, even if they missed, or even if that 2-point conversion would have failed, instead of saying, "Oh, he should have kicked the extra point. That was very stupid." Yes, that was an impressive display of guts by Jack Del Rio, and that is a great start for the 2016 Raiders, who are hoping to make it to the playoffs for the first time since 2002, when they went to Super Bowl 37. Which, I would love to wish the Oakland Raiders luck before I talk about ESPN and stuff like that. Now, I love ESPN as a whole. You know, you got Mel Kiper and then stuff like that. I just love Mel Kiper. But the thing is that stats do not tell the whole story. Stats can tell a big part of the story, but not all of the story. Now, what I mean by that is that you could... Hold on. You could have a quarterback throw for like 500 yards in a shootout and then not win. Or just, you could have a quarterback throw for 500 yards play a really good game, but on paper he did not play very well. That's a good example, but in the polar opposite of what I was hoping. I guess you guys know what I mean, hopefully. So, what I'm getting at is that ESPN said that there's like a 2 to 5% chance, I'm not exactly sure what it is, chance that you're going to make a 2 point conversion every time. Like there's a 2 to 5% success rate. So every 100 times you would run a 2 point conversion, you would only make like 5 of them or 2 of them. And I would just like to commemorate all of the head coaches on the NFL level, college level, high school level, junior college level, heck, even Pee Wee football for practicing 2 point plays in practice. A few times a week, if not more than that, because I think that that's going to become a little bit more important now that in the NFL, not sure about college, but the NFL, the extra point is now kicked from the 15-yard line. And from what we experienced early on in the season last year, a lot of kickers were having trouble with the extra points. It's too high up. Okay. So, I don't presume that that was in the Raiders' game plan, but, to get a 2 point conversion for the win. But I do commemorate Jack Del Rio for practicing the 2 point plays and having one ready to go for Derek Carr and that Raiders offense that looks to be potent this year. Yes, I know the Saints defense was rated last, dead last in most of the defensive categories last year, but for a team that for a little more than a decade went through a period of mediocrity in like 2003 or 2004, all the way through 2013 and 2014. Hey, that's pretty good. Jack Del Rio is, I like that. One, because they won the game. Two, just as I mentioned, Jack Del Rio had the guts to do that, so he has confidence in his offense. And three, that confidence that he has in his offense can spread around the whole team, and the whole team can feed off that, no matter if the defense has gotten an extra spark. And fourth, that just instills that just says you want to win. That just screams, I want to win, so I'm going to be bold and go for the 2 point conversion, despite the fact that I could just kick the extra point and then go to overtime. But I hope it's not a case of Jack Del Rio not having confidence in his field goal kicker, as much as what I mentioned, Jack Del Rio having that much confidence in his offense that they could have converted a 2 point conversion. So, I think that Raiders fans should be happy with the job that Jack Del Rio has since he took over as Raiders head coach in January of 2015. In these 17 games, I do believe he has a winning mark now as Raiders head coach. Either that or it's very, very close, and he's 1 or 2 wins away from having a winning record, if not tying it, or, you know. So, I guess the Raiders are not the butt of NFL jokes anymore, and I know that'll make people in Oakland happy. Which means I can only resort to Cowboys jokes and Browns jokes. I'm just kidding, Cowboys and Browns fans. Your teams are not that bad on paper. Nah, I'm just kidding. I mean, your teams can be good. And I don't really joke about teams being bad because I have class and respect. But yeah, I do believe that the Raiders are back. And I do think that they will have a winning record for the first time since 2011, whenever they had a 9-7 mark, I think. Other than that, it was that Super Bowl year in 2002 that I mentioned. But yes, I do believe that the Raiders will go to the playoffs for the first time since 2002 and end that 13 season drought that they have of not making it to the playoffs. I am not sure if they will win the division, but hey, you don't necessarily need to win your division to lock up a playoff spot. You just need to be good enough to capture a wild card. And in terms of winning a playoff game, it would depend on who they have to face, where they would face them, and how healthy the two teams are. But yes, I do believe that if the Raiders stay healthy, they will make the playoffs. Because I think Jack Del Rio is a good enough coach to do it. So yes, guys, that will do it for this video, or this first video where I talk about NFL football. And so yeah, football fans, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.